Hello and welcome to my first ever YouTube channel and actually my first ever YouTube video. My name is George, also known as Gokes18, which is my name on pretty much every poker site I'm on, I think. So yeah, welcome. This is a string of videos to basically hand history review videos from an amateur poker player. So yeah, I'd just like to caveat that to start with. I am an amateur poker player. I'm not a professional poker player. So these videos aren't, oh, look at me study and look how good I am. And, you know, you should definitely be following my advice. And this is how I do things. And I'm at the cutting edge of technology and the cutting edge of poker strategy. Because that is not the case. I am literally just a amateur poker player who enjoys and loves the game. So another way to help me review my hands is to do these videos. So that's the main reason why I'm doing them. And also hopefully if this does, with that being said, if this does help some amateur poker players or some smaller stakes poker players who don't really study at the moment or not too sure how to study or feel like they could get better at it, then hopefully this will help you out. And if not, worst case scenario, everyone can just slate me, call me a bad poker player and give me loads of hate online. So either way, I think we're all in for a win-win. But yeah, if you're watching, thank you very much. I'm mainly going to be reviewing hands from GG Poker because that's where I play. Most of the time I do play on other sites, but GG Poker is my favorite, mainly because I like everything from the buy-in range of $5 to sort of $12 on GG Poker. I think they're probably the softest games I've found so far, or where I feel most comfortable playing. So that's where I'll be reviewing most of my hands from on these videos coming up. And yeah, as I review them, if you want to give me some advice and tips and tricks and stuff, or tell me what you think I could have done better in certain spots, please do. That would help me as a player and hopefully help you as a player as well. So yeah, I will be reviewing these using PokerCraft, which is sort of the built-in heads-up display that's attached to GG Poker. You can start your hands within the GG software, and then afterwards you load up PokerCraft. Your started hands are all there, and you can then go through each tournament basis or just your started hands, and it's a good studying tool. I'm also a PokerCoaching.com member, so I'll be using that within these videos as well to sort of cross-reference hand charts, G2 opening charts and stuff like that, and where I can deviate from them and my reasoning behind opening, or seeing if I'd made the correct decision using PokerCoaching.com and my general experience anyway with population tendencies and people that I've been playing against within my games. So yeah, what we'll do is at the start of this video now, I'll show you the PokerCraft software, or PokerCraft website, I should say, sorry, and the PokerCoaching.com website, and show you how I'll be studying with these. So yeah, if you're not familiar with it, sure you probably are if you do play on GG. This is the PokerCraft area, so you can see I've starred 4 hands here from the tournament that I won. So as you saw when you clicked on the YouTube thumbnail, I did win a tournament back in July, and we're going to decide whether I was played incredibly badly and got really lucky, or I played with some exceptional skill and I played all my hands correctly and I'm the best poker player in the world, which I can assure you is not the case. It's definitely the former, as we all know with poker tournaments, but I'd like me to go and have a little look. It will improve my game to go through, double check, have a little look, see if I did things well, see where I did things badly, and go from there. And this is a way of me doing it, uploading these YouTube videos. So yeah, this is PokerCraft, and then I'll also be using PokerCoaching.com. I love this little setup they have with the charts, so I can set it as a tournament. These are GTO charts that they've set. Obviously, I'm not playing GTO. My opponents aren't playing GTO, especially in the buy-ins that I'm at. However, I use these as a good starting point. So once I say, okay, cool, so the GTO approach is X. Do I think my opponent's range maybe was wider here? Do I think my opponent's range was tighter here versus GTO? And I can assure you that I'm probably opening too wide or making loads of mistakes elsewhere. So it's good to have the GTO base point, which again, also like to say as well, I don't really know GTO that well, just through what I've been doing, looking at on these websites and stuff, and they always use GTO as kind of like a base starting point, and then I'll look where I need to deviate and change from that. So as you can see, just as a brief introduction, you've got GTO tournament, charts, stack sizes, all the different stack sizes, hero's position, and it's versus whether like I'm raising first in or versus a raise, and then I can put in positions where I'm at. So we'll go through, we'll plug all that into here. Also looking at the timeline as well on PokerCraft. So should we jump into the first hand? Okay, so we have the first hand here, which is this one here. Let's open it up into the replayer. Right, okay. Speed this up slightly. Okay, so we have been dealt ace king offsuit. Looks like we're in the cutoff. Let's have a little look what happens. I cannot remember. Okay, it looks like big blind here are 501k. I've got 17.7, so I've just got a shade over 17 big blinds. We have an open to 2 big blinds there from under the gun plus 1. Okay, and then it's on me. Right. So what we can do now is, I can't remember what I did. So what we can do now quickly is we can go and plug this into here. So here we are, we have a stack size. I'm going to put 20 big blinds because it's closer to 17 I've got here. What position was I in? I was in the cutoff. So hero position is in the cutoff. And we are versus a raise here. And our villain is under the gun plus 1. Under the gun plus 1. And we have ace king off. Okay, so we have ace king off, and here is the GTO range of what we should be doing with what in this position. As you can see, actually, the range for GTO here with 20 big blinds is actually quite tight. So we're actually folding ace 10 off. Tell a lie, sorry. We're folding it, yeah, folding ace 10 off a lot of the time. We are folding ace 5 suited a lot of the time, sometimes calling ace 5 suited, which, to be honest with you, I don't think I'll be finding. 3-betting ace 9 suited is this is the thing with GTO. It's like, would I have 3-bet ace 9 suited in this spot? Absolutely not. But like, it's just interesting to see that probably it should do sometimes. And obviously jack 10 10 9 9 shoves, I think I'd definitely find those. King, the interesting one here is king is, or pocket kings is a 3-bet call. There doesn't seem to be any all in here with kings, which I would 100% be jamming kings here, which is again is interesting to see. But we have ace king off. Now this is an absolute luck guess that ace king off is just a complete all in by the looks of it, if I'm reading these correctly. So yeah, what did we do? I'm pretty sure I jammed, so that's what I was saying. So yeah, I jammed, which was apparently the correct decision. But I mean, I'm looking to get all the money in with 17 with ace king here. Okay, we get a call from ace queen. I mean, we're domination nation here, which is great. And flop the king, and the run out, I think, came pretty, well, it did come pretty pure for us. There we go. We got a double up fairly early on in the tournament. No bounty though. But yeah, that was nice. That was a good start to the tournament. Bit of a non-event hand, really. Let's load the next one up. Play up here. Okay, let's look at the next hand. We get dealt ace 2 suited in the cutoff. We have, what, 30-ish big blinds. We see a raise from under the gun, who has absolutely heaps of chips by the looks of it. It's like he's got like 150 big blinds or something. We have ace 2 suited, and we decided to flat here, which is interesting. So let's go ahead and have a little look. So we are in the cutoff, 30 big blinds versus a raise with our opposition in under the gun position. So I think we can see from GTO here, we ace 2 suited is a pure fold. So this was an incorrect decision from a GTO point of view. And actually off 30, it looks like, yeah, that's a poor decision, like by the looks of it. I wonder if we could change this to 40 big blinds. Ace 2 still doesn't get in there. Or if we change this to 60 big blind. Okay, so 60 big blind, it's still a fold. So What about 80? Yeah, so 80 it calls somewhat percentage of the time, and 3-bet somewhat percentage of the time, but it's still pretty much a pure fold, I think, by the looks of it. Because even off 80, I must admit, I'm probably not 3-betting this, even though it probably isn't a bad idea in my game because people are folding a lots to 3-bets. But as this is an under the gun open, I don't know whether I'd have been finding it myself in game. But yeah, let's click this back to 30. And then take a little look back at this and see what happened. It's a button fold, which is nice. It gives us position. And the big blind comes along as well. So nice we have position here. We're flop top pair, weak kicker. It's not the nicest spot to be in because I'd imagine if we take a little look at our friend who has infinite chips under the gun, if he was playing GTO, for example, then let's have a little look at his range, which you can probably make a little bit wider, right? So I personally don't think his range is probably going to be this tight under the gun. With his 100 and I think it was like 107, 150 big blinds or something. So I don't think he's going to be this tight. I'd imagine he has got all the chips and he's going to try and get some money in the middle. So I'd imagine all of this stuff in, the Jack 10 off, the Queen 8 suited, Jack 8 suited. I imagine all the Ace X off is probably in his range, which is, we obviously block that a little bit, but it's a little bit scary that with that board on our weak kicker. And all of this is in his range as well. So as you can see, let's have a little look at the big blind. How many big blinds he got? He has got like what 50 or something, 60 big blinds or something, just roughly. He is in the big blind, and versus a raise versus, let's just put under the gun in. So I don't think we can put our call in, but we don't need that much detail. So as you can see, his range is quite wide. I'd imagine he would have 3-bet out the big blind with his ace, king, ace, queen, king, because that's just what people tend to do in general. I don't think people try to do trap too much stuff. Ace queen, a lot of people would probably call. I've noticed people not 3-betting enough ace queen at all. But anyway, his range is really wide as well. So looking at the board, he's got a lot of this sort of like suited connector, suited gapper cut type stuff, which could have some sort of like 4x in it, 6x in it and stuff. I don't think he's got too much ace-x, but obviously, of course, it's in there as well. But that's interesting to look at their ranges and where I'm at. So let's have a look. We're happy to have position. Let's see what the big blind does. So the big blind leads this board, which is super interesting leading into us. So I really don't know what this is. So if anyone knows what potentially like, maybe he's just got that ace-x that hit. Maybe he's, I don't know, any 4x's, but I don't think he'd lead with a 4. Would he lead with a random 6x, maybe like king 6 or something? I don't know. But let's see what the big blind, the under the gun original raiser goes ahead and does. He flats as well. Okay, so I flat. So I probably don't want to like raise this up. Maybe I could raise this up, find out where I'm at with it. I don't know. Maybe that's an option. I don't think I'm finding it there because I'm obviously worried about my kicker. I have got the backdoor flush draw as well, I guess, but that's pretty thin, I think. But yeah, it's quite a hard one. Maybe flatting he's good here. I mean, I'm priced in. There is into 2 other players as well, so I could just be absolutely destroyed here. I mean, I don't know. But let's carry on. Let's have a look. Apparently it took ages. All right, okay. So he bet small again. So 2 into 12. So really small again. We get a fold from under the gun. What do we go ahead and do? We go ahead and make the call. I think we kind of have to. We're getting insane pot odds. We have top pair. We just got to hope that there's no 2-pair combos in there. I don't think we need to bloat the pot against someone in position. So I think we can just, I think I'm okay with that. So let's take a while of his decisions, speed this up a little bit. Right. So then he bets small again. So it feels like milky. It feels like he's just trying to milk something, the value from his hands. Looking back at this now. I can't remember what I did, but looking back at this now, I'm feeling like it's a better we're out kicked with our ace. Um, do I think someone would triple? I know he's tripled really small, but do I think someone would triple bluff here, or do I think someone would triple with any 6x or 4x? Yes, he could have picked up a queen. I think there's a lot of potential two-pair combos here that he could have. What did I do in game? I made the call probably because of the price. And he looks like he was just on a straight draw the whole time. So I think probably the mistake he probably made there is not these. I don't know what he was putting me on. But I think if he had gone sized up a lot more, I think I potentially could have got away from it in general from any sort of two-pair combos and stuff. But because he kept it so small, I feel like he priced me in. I couldn't not call for the amount, and we take the pot down. Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Penultimate one that I was gonna replay. These are just like to point out, these hands are early on in the tournament as well. These are probably first. I think this late reg still open. I think at this stage of the tournament, everyone's quite deep as you can see. So yeah, as I said, this is going to be part one. I'll do middle of the tournament, then I'll do sort of like in the money, and then I'll hopefully do some final table stuff as well in further parts of this video. Okay, so here we are. Looks like we've got 1, 2. So we are what 30, 32 big blinds or something like that. And we get that ace 10 suited. Let's see what happens. So this tournament was back in July, so I've forgotten what I've done in most of these spots. Speed is up. A bit slow. Okay. So it looks like I open ace 10. There's actually a table player missing here. So I open ace 10 to 2.1 big blinds, which is my high often standard open. So what I raised first in, so I said I had about 30 bigs, so 30 big blinds here. What position am I in? I am in 2, low jack. And we are raised first in. Let's see. Cool. It looks like ace 10 suited is in there as well. I always find these so interesting to look at, to think of like, what would I open? Is that ace 2 suited is in the low jack where I was at. It wasn't a flat earlier. I feel like I'm folding king 6 suited, king 7 suited, and not finding the open there. King off, yeah. I mean, yeah, I think I'm folding a lot of this stuff here. Ace 8 off, yeah, I think I maybe find it as well. Maybe I open that more often than I probably should as well in the low jack here. And probably 3s and deuces as well. I probably would think about opening here. So it's interesting that they're a fold. That's why it's so good to look at these charts in general, so just you can get these clicking to your head and realizing what you probably wouldn't be doing in game and being honest with yourself. Okay, let's carry on. So I do open. It wasn't open, so I'm not feeling too bad about that. We get a flat from the button. So let's take a little look. So he's also got 30 big blinds. He is on the button versus raise from the low jack set. So let's have a little look at his range. Okay, so I actually, it's interesting, this is quite heavy on the folds as well. I usually open up my button range. I don't know whether that's this game thing. I just found that if I'm in position, I fancy myself a little bit more. So I feel like I definitely wouldn't be folding queen 10 off or jack 10 off on 30 big blinds in the open. That's obviously wrong, or I don't know. I just, my range would probably be, I'd widen up here on the button for sure. Just double check stack sizes as well. Yeah, if guys have got heaps as well, I'm not too worried about shoves from the blinds or anything, or people don't 3-bet. I find in this game from the big from the small blind or the big blind enough, unless they're like the top end of their range. So I'm not too worried about that. So I usually open up a little bit wider than this on the button, me personally, but that's where his range is anyway. So I'll widen his range up, I think, right? He's got a 36 VPIP here. I can't see what how many. I can't see how many hands like he's played. This might be like off. Like he might just join the table or whatever, and he's only played 5 hands. But um, let's assume that he's quite open at the moment with a VPIP of 36. And his range is going to be wider there in the barn. So it checks back to me. I see bet. What did I do? Into 16. So I did like 33, 33% of the pot, which I trying to use as a standard sizing in general, especially if I've opened. Like I find you can get folds from not putting too much money into the middle. So like I'm giving people insane pot odds, but they don't necessarily always realize that. And you can take down pots quite cheaply, especially on ace high boards when you've opened king high boards. This is very like I feel like the flop hits my range basically, so I do go for the c bet here. We get a flat out of the. I thought we'd get a call from both. A bit of a brick, but does bring the backdoor flush draw there as well. Maybe I can't remember what I did in game, but I feel like maybe I should probably look at betting a little bigger here. Trying to get value from any king X, trying to get value from, I don't know, maybe even another small blind here because he's so deep. Maybe he's called with some 7X, and also there's a flush draw just out there now, so maybe I just want to size up a little bit and try and price them out ever so slightly, and maybe try and take this down now. It would be what I would do. What did I do? I went for half pot, yeah, so I've gone third pot, half pot, which is now nice because I think if I do get a call in the river bricks, the SPR now is going to be like what? Just a shade over 1, so I can sort of line up a river jam here, I feel. Get a fold as well, which is nice. And do get a call from the small blind. So did we look at the small blind's range? I don't think we did. So let's go back and look. So he had at the start of the hand 23. Let's have a look. Can I go all the way back? Yes, I can. Right. Start hand, he had 129k, so and we are 2k. So we're like he's like 60 bigs. Let's get back to where we were. He had like I bet there. Cool. So he had like 60 bigs. We can't put the caller in, which is annoying, but if we were at 60 bigs, I was in the low jack, right? Yeah. And I versa raise. And sorry, hero. Oh no, we're doing him. Sorry, so small blind. He's in small blind. Versa raise. Opponent position's in the low jack. Let's have a look. So he's got. I don't know. This is interesting. None of the ace nine off is in there, and the ace x off is in there. King 10 off. I think he's probably calling a lot of this. I think he's probably. Versus just I mean, this guy might be like an awesome player and he knows exactly what he's doing. But in my mind, through people that I've been playing with in these buy-ins in general anyway, I'd say he's probably a little bit wider than this in general. So let's see if we've got ace king 7 right on the flop. So how much? He's got some king X here. He's got some ace X suited here. So he could also have weaker ace X. Threes are in here as well, so obviously he does have some sets sometimes, pairs and stuff. But maybe I can't remember if he was an aggressive player or not, but he might have 3-bet some of that pre. But people don't 3-bet enough. 3-bet enough, I should say. At the small blind, so trying to think what he's continuing with here. I'd probably hoping he was doing lots of like king X, like any king queen, any what 7X does he have? I think he could have something like Jack 7 for sure, and any flush draws, any kind of suited stuff. So that's where his range is typically, I think. We got the fold, didn't we, from this guy? We've seen that, yeah. Okay, so the queen on the river is not lovely. So looking at his range, what does he has? I mean, he does have queen king sometimes here, of course. He does have some like potentially queen 7 stuck in there for a 2-pair. This is interesting now. It's the beauty of position because we'll see what he does. A lot of people, when they do have it, they would just want to get the value in at this stake. So he might just go ahead and just take the betting lead here. I'm not too sure. But also any straights got there. So 10 jack got there. So yeah, but we do block. We have the 10 as well, so we do kind of block it. It goes check, check. Did it go check, check? Say that back. It goes check, check, and then I opted to check as well. So I can imagine my reasoning in game there for a check was the 10 jack got there. He's called 2 streets now. Maybe we could be out kicked, maybe with ace queen or something, or we could ace jack that he could have been playing with a backdoor straight draw. Maybe there's an argument to say that's a little bit nitty. Maybe I should have just gone for a jam there to get value from his. You can see he had ace 5, so me get value from his weaker ace x. So to be fair, I probably could have gone for a jam there and probably left some money on the table. Especially with the spade coming on the river was probably a good hand to jam. All the draws bricked and stuff like that, so it could look like a missed backdoor flush draw got there or whatever. He also could put me on a lot of king x as well, which I think if we jam, maybe we could get folds from. If we jam, maybe we could get calls from, thinking he thinks I've got a king. Which would mean we would get extra value. So I feel like potentially that's some missed value there, not played 100% correctly. But interesting to look at nonetheless. And then we'll jump in now. We'll do last hand of this session. Okay, what have we got? So I'm in the big blinds. It's 3,500. It doesn't show you the big blinds, which is really annoying. On the replayer, if anyone knows how to do that, just let me know and I can change it. But 24 big blinds in the big blind here, 3-4 of clubs. Keep going, speed this up. Okay, so you get an open to what, 2.1, 2.2 big blinds or something. It falls to us. Guy's got a VPIP of 44, and he looks like he's got what, a lot of chips. So it's 50 big blinds. So let's have a little look, see what he's opening. So he's let's have a little look. So what did we say he had? So we said he had 50 big blinds. So let's, what should we do? Let's plug in 60, because I think he's probably playing relatively wide. You can see he's got a VPIP of 44. So the closest we can get to plug in is 60 big blinds here. And he is in undergun 1+1. He's in the hijack. He's rage first in. Let's have a little look, see what he looks like. Okay, so I think a lot of people in game as well not folding ace 5 off here, and a lot of this ace x stuff I think is going to be in there. He's got pure raise all of these, which I think is, to be honest, fairly accurate. I think maybe someone finds king 9 off. I don't think he's opening king 4 suited, king 5 suited, king 6 suited here, probably all the way up to king 9 suited. I'm not sure a lot of this stuff's in here. Or the queen 8 suited, maybe jack 8, I don't know, 10-7 suited, not sure he's finding opens with that, so we can sort of put that in mind. So I can imagine we defended this, otherwise it'd be a boring hand. Yeah, so we defend, obviously flop the flush draw, which is good for us, but obviously there's queen jack, so this is great for him. So he's got all the queen x, the jack x, obviously I have some of, but that's a good point. Let's go and have a little look at our range, which I think we were, what did we say we were? We were like 30 bigs, right? And what I can't remember what we said we were. 86, 500 divided by 500. We're 25 bigs actually. So let's have a little look, see if we're right to defend this. So hero position in the big blind versus raise, and he was versus raise, and there is in the take a look. Is 3-4 suited in there? It is in there. Saying that sometimes, look, this is where GTO is interesting. It's like sometimes ace 3 off isn't all in. Obviously ace queen, stuff like that. It's interesting off 25. You can just stick ace queen in and 3-bet all this other stuff. But a lot of this other stuff, like as a call, you can see we're defending pretty much all hands. It's just this small portion area that we're not defending, which is super wide. So yeah, basically, yeah, we defend. We flop that flush draw, but with a board that probably hits his range more than it hits ours. He then leads out for quite small, so like again third. He leads out for like a third, giving us really good pods. Gives us like 3-1, right? So I can sure we either call or we may. I wonder if we found a raise. We did flat. Okay. So what's interesting here? I don't know whether there is like grounds for a raise here. I'm really not sure. Maybe there is. I don't know. Maybe someone could let me know if you think that would be a good play. Okay. So not great now. So it went check on the turn with the jack. It did, didn't it? So yeah, went and check. I check that jack. He checks that jack as well, which is interesting because obviously board pairs. Look, if he has got something like jack queen or a jack in his hand, or a queen in his hand, I feel like he might value bet the queen. Maybe he wants to hide the fact that he has got the jack there in his hand. But this is more his board, and also even if the flush does get there on the river, I've now obviously not got like as an advantage if he does have like a boat or something here, like a set, but I'm not sure he would. So looking back at this, I go for big bet. Here, which I don't like because I feel like he's got a range advantage here. Obviously we're trying to go for folds. Our flush draw bricked. We haven't got any showdown value here. We're not going to win the hand. So bluffing, I guess, if there's a place to do it. I guess this is the place to do it. But actually, is it a great play? I don't know. Let's see what happens. Try not to be too results orientated. I don't like it. We do get the fold, right? So we don't fold out a jack here. Do we fold out a king here? Maybe thinking about it, actually, maybe he does have a queen here, and there's some sort of his queen X that was in his range, and now the king's got there on the river, and I've just jammed it, and he doesn't want to hero off. Fair enough. Maybe it's a good play. I don't know. Again, another one that you guys can probably just come back to me and say horrible play. But I feel like I needed to probably do something that I'd imagine in game as my thought process. But yeah, that was all the hands that I was gonna review today. I hope you enjoyed the content. Let me know what you think, if you like the format, if you like my way of thinking, if you want to review some and send them back to me, just let me know. And yeah, any support that you guys could kind of offer me with my hands, whether there's some better software I could be using or some better ways of thinking or better mindset stuff I could be doing, then just let me know. But yeah, if you could like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to try and upload some this footage of some shorts to TikTok and stuff like that, so you can see my TikTok down the bottom there. I haven't uploaded much there at the moment, but I will continue to do so. If you want to continue and follow along the journey, it's probably a better way to contact me as well, and I'll try and keep uploading these. I'll try and do 1 video a week, 2 videos a week or something, depending on my schedule. Like I said, I'm not a professional poker player. This isn't my full-time occupation. I play for fun when I get the chance and when I can. So yeah, appreciate it. Thank you very much. Have a good one.